like slowly getting to, as science does, to ways we can help keep our brains younger as we age, which will help like keep us active and sharp as we get older.
Hello everyone, I'm Erica.
And I'm Akilah.
Welcome to HeartsChat.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of HeartsChat. So tonight we're talking about an article that we saw on the NPR website, and it's called Scans Show Female Brains Remain Youthful as Male Brains Wind Down. So we thought that was really interesting. We wanted to talk about that tonight.
Yes, definitely. When Erica kind of introduced the article to me, I was like, this is interesting. What are they going to say? So ultimately, the article is really talking about how women tend to have, I guess, more youthful brains than males as they age. And that really what I got from the article is more of like, as we get older, we always think about the concept of our brains are aging with us. However, what some science is showing that it actually, women's brains tend to be a little bit younger than their age is, unless it's kind of impacted by like menopause, because menopause can be very, from what they described in the article, can be kind of change how the brain is structured. And I think that can ultimately be related to kind of like in mental health, how we often will see after trauma, people's brains will change their structures, their like different, just the way different sparks in the brain when you're looking at scans will change from prior to what it looked like from when they didn't experience the trauma. So I thought this was really interesting because ultimately what they're saying is that they don't really know why, I guess, it's difference between men and women, but they're learning that, it's showing that women will have like Alzheimer's disease a little bit later in life because of this. And I thought that was like, wow, like, okay, so we're getting to a point in science where we're kind of like, okay, what can we do to help keep our brains younger? And I know one of the things at the end of the article, it kind of discussed, steps that some of the steps they're thinking can be almost like the steps you take for diabetes, where it's like dieting, exercise, and like one of the last things they said, drugs that help the brain and body metabolize sugar. So, I mean, it sounds like they're getting to, like slowly getting to, as science does, to ways we can help keep our brains younger as we age, which will help like keep us active and sharp as we get older.
Right. And that's what I thought was so cool, was that it wasn't just like a discovery, like, oh, look at this. It was, okay, well, now that we know this, we can try and do something about that.
That's what I thought. I was just, when I saw this, like I said, Erica, when I first saw this, I started laughing. I was like, really? Women's brains are younger than men's? That's interesting.
Yeah. And that's another thing I want to know, because they were mentioning that why is it that women's brains are more youthful?
Yeah.
They were saying that maybe it's just genetics.
Yeah.
That's really the only thing they can think of that's why. But it's so interesting because if you even think about, like, if you think of it in terms of gender roles and how we use our minds, and you made a joke, Akilah, you were like, how is that possible? Like, men drive us crazy. How is that? How is that?
Exactly. That's a, joking, being like, how do we have the younger brains? But, even the article was saying that women's brains can be upwards of 4 years younger on average than their actual brains. And a lot of what the article was saying is like, it could be that hormones are involved. That could be what the difference is, because they really, again, reading the article, it doesn't sound like they know the difference just yet, the difference between why more females have a younger brain than males do. But like you said, Erica, I thought that was so interesting because, there's, we're always talking about, self-care and preventative measures and what we can do to keep our bodies and our mental health, the best we can. Right. And I feel like research like this kind of helps that.
Right, because it doesn't exactly say that, because you were a male and you did this, or you're a woman and you did that.
Yes.
That's why your brain, it's just kind of like, that's just how it is.
Mm-hmm.
But so it brings up a good point about how our mind and our body and our emotional well-being are all connected.
Correct.
Because in the article, like Akilah said, it talks about treating this like you would diabetes, which has to do with diet. And that has a lot to do with our mental health. What are you eating? Like, what are you putting into your bodies? That's why if you're, a parent or a caretaker, you're so on top of your kids about what they're eating and having good nutrition, because we know that builds them to have good bodies, have good energy, have healthy brains. Well, that's the same, for you as an adult too. You have to be very mindful about what you're eating, making sure that you exercise, because it's not just, you're supposed to diet and exercise and be healthy, but it does have a lot to do with how you live later in life and your mental health.
Absolutely. And I think that also speaks to, even going to the doctors and checking on these things earlier than we normally would can help to so we can catch some of this stuff. Especially since there's always new research coming out about how to better, take care of our bodies and our minds.
Exactly. So I completely agree. Regular checkups with with a doctor that you trust is definitely good. And also being mindful of yourself. Because a lot of times we go. We don't stop. And even when you're sick, sometimes you don't stop, and you don't stop to think, like, how do I feel? How am I? I know my sister was working so hard at her job, working so hard at her job. It felt like school. So she was going home and reading stuff to prepare for work, to prepare for her clients the next day. And she was stressed to the max, and she was starting to forget her words. She was like, I'm starting to forget what I was talking about, or her train of thought, or what she wanted to say, because she was that stressed to the max that she couldn't even think clearly. And for her, she's a talker, she's a thinker. She was like, oh, what's going on? Like, this feels really weird. So that's somebody that is, mindful of how they feel and how they are, that she was able to mention it to, a family member, to be like, what's going on, versus just throwing it out the window like, oh, it's nothing, I got to keep going. No, you really do have to be mindful of this kind of stuff, because it's definitely going to help you later in life. Definitely.
I agree. And it's always, better to start with some of these habits when you're younger, so that, it kind of gets you in a loop of what to do as you get older.
We want to talk about it just to stress the importance of being aware of your body, and just talking about how your diet and exercise is connected to your mental health, to your brain, just to give you something to think about and to just be aware of it. And if you've been doing these steps, then it's a pat on the back, like, yes, keep doing what you're doing. But if you haven't been, it gives you something to think about, maybe something to look forward to. You could continue to be sharp and on top of things, and just have the best quality of life that you can.
Thank you so much for listening to HeartsChat today, where we speak from the heart. We hope that you enjoyed our show. Catch us every Sunday and Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our YouTube channel and on our website, which is HeartsChatRadioshow.com. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages at HeartsChat Radio on Instagram and at HeartsChat on Twitter, Facebook, and Periscope.
We love to hear from you. If you have any comments or questions or topics that you want to hear about, you can email us at HeartsChat@HeartsChatRadioshow.com. And for all of your personal relationship questions, please visit my blog from ericasheart.com. Thank you for listening to HeartsChat, where we speak from the heart.